question to you is this the video where you based your finding that VP Sara said, gusto kong tanggalin ang ulo niya, imagine cutting his head off? Is this the one?
Yun po.
Alright.
Yun po yung video na yan.
And will you agree with, wasn't this press con heard by the general public?
Opo.
And didn't VP Sara say her statements in jest?
Well,
Speculative, Your Honor.
Honor, the witness is smart enough and competent enough to answer.
Nevertheless, Your Honor.
Witness may answer.
well, again, I will say I cannot go into the state of mind of the Vice President, and precisely the reason why do sa pattern of violence, kasama po talaga yan yung pag i-consider natin. I understand her disgust doon sa nangyari, but probably pag pinagsama-sama po yung aming pong investigasyon, mga aming napanood, kasama po yan, doon po namin na-establish yung isa doon sa 5 factors na pattern of
Yeah,
violence.
I understand what you're saying, but my question to you is, didn't you take VP Sara's statement out of context?
Mahirap po para sa aming law enforcement na yung ganyang mga statement ay amin pong babaliwalain. Katunayan, alam naman po natin, kahit nga biro, halimbawa po, yung bomb joke nga po sa aeroplano, hinuhuli natin. It's a different thing if you're doing a bomb joke dyan sa aeroplano tsaka sa open field na kayo lang. So,
Alright.
sa amin po sa law enforcement, we have to give credence to that and i-process po namin.
So at any rate, you consider this portion of VP Sara's statement to be grave and serious, to be a grave and serious threat based on the standards that you mentioned yesterday.
Hindi po yun ang sinabi ko. Ang sinabi ko po, kasama siya doon sa i-consider na marami pong factors para ma-establish po ang pattern of violence.
Isn't that kind of a stretch?
It's argumentative, Your Honor.
Argumentative. Move on, counsel.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Salamat po, sir.
Redirect. Lead prosecutor. Any redirect?
Your Honor, may I request for a 5-minute break?
Instead of granting the break, Chair will open the floor for the interjections and interventions of some of the senator judges. You have your 5 minutes, counsel. Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, thereafter Senator Judge Lacson, thereafter Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, and hopefully Senator Judges Villanueva and Pangilinan. That might be in excess of 5 minutes already. We will just
Your Honor.
we're making the most out of the 5 minutes. Yes, counsel. For
Just
this
one manifestation, Your Honor, regarding
Counsel.
regarding the interpellation of the good Senator Ontiveros. We just want to set for the record, Your Honor, that insofar as the Las Cañas affidavit, the Vice President was never given an opportunity to respond to it
Formally.
formally.
Noted, Senator
And-
Judge. Yes, counsel. Counsel for the respondent. Anything additional?
And the VP was also not made to answer to the what's it? And it was not part of the impeachment complaint, Your Honor. For the record.
Noted. Noted. Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, you have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Sa ating pong testigo, kahapon po nabanggit ho ninyo na meron na po kayong persons of interest na umanay kinausap na po ng VP Vice President Sara Duterte para patayin umano ang Pangulo, First Lady at former Speaker of the House. Ang tanong ko po, paano pala ho ninyo ito natalisod o natunto ng impormasyong ito? Gayong sa kanya pong press con, wala naman pong siyang sinabi kung sino mga taong ito. Sinabi niya lang na may kinausap na ho siya. How did you find out?
Ganito po yan, sa lahat naman po ng kaso na hinahawakan po ng National Bureau of Investigation para po maging successful yung aming pag-iimbestiga, ay nagre-rely po kami sa iba't ibang intelligence report. Yung nga po may tinatawag tayong open source intel, human intelligence, and we also use tools to monitor things. At nag-trim down po tayo niyan, tinitingnan po natin hanggang dumating tayo doon sa punto na mayroon pong resolusyon yung ating pong kasong tinitingnan. With regards to po sa persons of interest, yung prosesong din yan po ang atin pong sinundan.
Okay. Without mentioning po kung sino itong mga tao na ito or yung pagkakilanlan nila, kung nasaan sila, maaari po ba ninyong bigyan kami ng ideya itong mga persons of interest na ito? Kung ano po talaga ang trabaho nila, kung sila po ba talaga yung mga hitman o mga gun for hire o riding in tandem, ano ho ang klaseng trabaho meron itong mga ito?
Well, siguro po ganito, although I cannot reveal so much and the identity, but going to the process na sinasabi ko nga po, so we're using informants. May mga sinusundan po tayo. Ang una-una natin pong tinignan dyan, yun nga pong sinabi na kumausap ng papatay at yung pong papatay ay pumayag na. So, ano pong ginawa natin dito? Tinignan na natin kung saan sphere po papasok, sino ba yung pwede, saan ba pwedeng nanggaling yon? Hindi kagad sino, saan po ba pwedeng nanggaling yon? At lumalabas po rito, alam natin yung kasaysayan, malawak po ang kanyang tinatawag na connection, yung network po. Alam naman natin na siya ay vice presidente at ang dating pangulo ay kanyang ama. Ibig sabihin nakadevelop po ito ng mga relasyon. Unang-una na sa mga men in uniform na hanggang sa ngayon marami po rito na na-appoint pa niya nung panahon na sila ay nandiyan. Nandiyan din po, binanggit ko yung Vice President sa security group at yung pong mga double death squad. So tinignan po natin at tinignan by process of elimination yung mga tao po na maaaring dun nang galing or maaaring nakakaalam. And by process of elimination, nag-start po kami maraming individuals hanggang sa matrim down po namin ng matrim down hanggang sa ngayon. Kaya sinabi ko po kahapon sa kagalang-galang sa katanungan ng ating Senate President po, gaano ba katagal pa to? And I said, we have great progress. Dahil lang simula po kami sa marami ngayon na trim down na po namin sa iilan na personalidad po.
Okay, pangalawa sa huling katanungan ko po, Ginoong Testigo, ay ito pong threat na ito po hanggang ngayon ay continuing threat po ito or pwedeng i-execute anytime ng mga sinasabi ninyong persons of interest?
Yun na po yung atin pong pangamba na nakikita. Because hindi po natin nakukuha. Sigurado po tayo na may kinausap at pumayag, subalit yung pagkakakilanlan ng taong kinausap ay hindi pa rin po natin nakukuha. So ibig sabihin po, yung threat po na ito sa Pangulo is a continuing and active threat po and serious. So yun po yung gusto nating i-address dito.
Panguling katanungan na lamang, Mr. Witness, naimpormahan na po ba ang Pangulo at ang kanyang PSG para alam ho nila ang kanilang gagawin at hindi po sila malingat sa kanilang seguridad?
Meron po kaming tuloy-tuloy na pakikipag-ugnayan sa ating sa palasyo po. I will not mention who exactly yung mga kausap po namin doon, but there's always continuing threat assessment po na ginagawa po kami.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Presiding Officer, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo. Senator Judge Lacson. Thereafter, we will recognize first, with the indulgence of Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, the lead prosecutor for her manifestation. As I understand, she asked for time for a huddle to determine whether she will still conduct redirect. So, Senator Judge Lacson is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Follow-up lang ito doon sa mga points raised by Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo kahapon relating to 3 similar cases. Ronald Mas, Mayor Baste Duterte, saka BP Sara. Hindi ko na bibelabor yung Ronald Mas and Mayor Baste kasi aware naman ako doon sa Rule 113 Section 5, yung sa warrantless arrest, na hindi pwedeng apply. Nagkamali nga yung NBI kay Ronald Mas, kaya na-dismiss yung case, di po ba? But I'm more interested in the cases of Mayor Baste at saka kay BP Sara. Kasi almost similar yung kanilang mga sinabi, pero I'm just wondering why you did not investigate Mayor Baste, pero si Mayor Sara, hindi lang kayo nag-investigate, nag-repair pa kayo ng complaint sa DOJ, hindi po ba?
Yun po yung amin pong ginawang investigasyon ay doon na po sa threat na sinasabi namin na pangkalawakan. Yung dito po kay Mayor Baste, kaya hindi po natin na inimbestigahan, isinasama po namin dito sa task force na ito to come out with the report eventually. But we have coordination also po with other agencies.
Yes. So walang ongoing law enforcement investigation against Mayor Baste?
kasama po dito sa ano po namin sa Special Task Force po.
Yung bang special task force, and this was, this was also raised by the presiding officer nung nasa lounge kami kanina, na-form ba ito in relation to or in reference to the case of Mayor Baste o kay Vice President Sara?
Yung pong trigger point na nangyari dito ay yung pong kay Mayor Basti po. But prior to that, we are continually monitoring the threat. Kasama po sa aming pag-uusap yan. In fact, yung pong aming reporting ng records as early as nung nag-assume po ako ng February, mga first week pa lang po ng March, kasama na po sa reporting yung mga threat assessment. But nung napansin po namin na itong rage rally na to can escalate to a bigger threat to the national security, dun po namin ipinasok ito.
So mas ang ginamit nyo yung kay Mayor Baste as an open source kesa sa mag-file kayo ng criminal complaint against Mayor Baste.
Ganun po yung naging process namin dito. But eventually, we have an agreement within us that if we can establish that the elements for grave threat will be there, we will be contemplating also on filing a grave threat and inciting to sedition as well.
Pero halos pareho eh. Kaya iniisip ko, baka meron double standard. Bakit kayo nag-focus kay Vice President pero hindi nyo in-apply kay Mayor Baste? Halos pareho sinabi nila eh, na maliwanag naman, bukod doon sa January 2026, na ulit pa ng April 12, di ba? Na sinabing Romanov, threat against the first family, nasundan pa ng pupugot, ang kailangan lang namin yung ulo. So pero kay Vice President, halos ganun din eh. Pero bakit inimbestigahan nyo kay Vice President Sara at na-refer nyo na sa DOJ for PI, pero yung kay Mayor Baste parang unlevel, nasa law enforcement investigation pa rin?
Sapagkat ang isa pong dinedevelop namin dito na theory po is yung sabwatan. And alam po natin, if we go to court using the theory of conspiracy, medyo mas mahirap po na ipasok na kaso. Kaya it taking much time to develop the case po.
May request for additional time, Mr. Presiding Officer. Punta lang ko kay Las Cañas.
Opo.
Okay. Yung kay Las Cañas, ginamit nyo yung kanyang affidavit na sinabit sa ICC.
Tama po.
Parang pang-open source.
Tama
Not for
po, sir.
anything, di ba?
Not for anything po.
So
yes,
walang
sir.
evidentiary value ito.
Yun po ay ang basehan namin, kaya po namin iprinisinta. Isa po sa naging basehan namin dun po sa, isa nga dun sa 5 standards po natin na pattern of violence po.
Pero wala kayong intention na kung magpapile kayo ng kaso, isasabit yung affidavit niya na sinabit sa ICC.
As a matter of preference lang po for the purposes of establishing the pattern of violence. But to directly papanagutin po sa isang criminal or what, sa palagay ko po baka po hindi ito tatanggapin ng korte po.
Yeah, kasi kung open source, hindi nga tatanggapin ng korte.
Tama po.
Kasi kung open source, kung nag-extend pa kayo, in-expand nyo yung open source information gathering, dapat sana nireview nyo rin yung aming committee hearing dito. No? Yung na-mention kanina ng defense, na initially, deny talaga si Arturo Las Cañas tungkol sa DDS, EJK, etc. Eventually, nag-retract siya talagang 180 degrees. No? Sinabi niya, totoo yung EJK. Hindi ba dapat part din yun ng open source information gathering ninyo?
Tama po. Actually, nung binasa po namin yung affidavit, may isang paragraph doon na nagtukoy nga dyan na nag-testify as binawi. Ang sinundan na po namin dito, at naalala ko po, meron kasing yung report do sa 24 oras after ng pre-trial po sa ICC, nagkaroon po ng interview kay Las Cañas kung saan sinasabi niya yung affidavit na ginawa niya na isinabit sa ICC. At nung kinukumpara po namin doon sa sinasabi niya, lumalabas na yun po.
Pangatlo na po yon.
So,
Alam nyo, iba yung affidavit niya, yung kanyang testimony sa Public Order and Legal Drugs Committee, which as I said earlier, I chaired. No? Kaya alam ko yung familiar ako. Then after that, nag-retract siya. Talagang complete turnaround.
Tama po.
So I even consulted a retired justice na kaibigan ko, ano bang mas patimbang dito? Ang sabi niya, ang talagang jurisprudence, yung original na statement, ang mananaig, kesa doon sa parang binaliktad na statement, which I also agreed. Ang point ko lang is, bakit parang namili lang kayo ng open source?
Tiningnan po
Kung
namin.
tinignan nyo yung sa ICC na sabit na pagkahaba-haba, sa akin nga po sinabi kanina, pangatlo na po yung magkaibang affidavits ni Arturo Las Cañas. May nauna, may pangalawa, pangatlo na po itong pinapakita sa screen kahapon.
Tama po, and we are also aware dun sa pagbali-baligtad. But on the news that I was mentioning po, Your Honor, mismong sinabi niya, pipirmahan yung affidavit, at sinabi po niya, this is 186 pages. So nang tinitingnan po namin, yung statement na yan, tumugma. At pangalawa, it's been the subject already of an ICC. It's being used as an evidence. At least there is a legitimate court that looking into it, which it was considered na ibig sabihin, tinanggap po ng isang lehitimo na korte po.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just trying to be fair, ano?
Apo.
Kasi gusto ko talagang maliwanagan para pagdating ng takdang oras, alam ko yung aking boto.
Tama
Maraming
po.
salamat po.
Salamat
Thank you,
po.
Senator Judge Lacson. Before the chair recognizes Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, Senator Judge Aquino, and Senator Judge Padilla, chair will not. Sorry, I forgot about you, Senator Judge Pangilinan. Before Senator Judge Bam. Chair would like to call on the lead prosecutor again. Thank you for the sequence. Yes. What is the pleasure of the lead prosecutor? Shall you conduct redirect?
Your Honor, the prosecution believes that we have sufficiently established that the threat to the President constitutes
Objection, Your Honor.
threat to the national
Again,
security.
Your Honor, inconsistent.
Counsel, you are once again reminded to kindly avoid
Yes, Your Honor.
conclusions of law. The question was simple, so I guess you will not conduct any further redirect.
Nonetheless, Your Honor, there are some manifestations that I would like to make.
As long as these are not conclusions of fact and law, Counsel, as
Yes,
you have
Your
been reminded and guided accordingly. You may proceed.
It is the position, Your Honor, of the prosecution that we have established
Objection, Your Honor. Again, this is a conclusion of fact and law, Your Honor.
Counsel, the counsel for respondent is correct. I will give the same limitation to whatever manifestations he will make in this regard. Let me do it for you. I guess you're not conducting any redirect anymore because you're
I have another
satisfied
manifestation, Your Honor.
and you're contented with the testimony given by the witness you presented. What is your second manifestation?
Nais
Mr.
ko
Prosecutor?
lamang pong liwanagin, Your Honor, kaugnay ng affidavit ni Arturo Las Cañas. Ito po ay ipresenta ng prosecution bilang bahagi ng testimonya ng witness, kagaya na po ng sinabi ng presiding officer ng 3 ulit, pinayagang ipresenta ang affidavit ni Las Cañas bilang bahagi ng testimonya at bilang bahagi ng naging investigation ng Special Task Force ng National Bureau of Investigation. It was never claimed by the prosecution that this affidavit is notarized. Kailanman po ay hindi sinabi ng prosecution na notarized ang dokumentong ito. Ito po'y ipresenta bilang bahagi lamang ng testimonya ng witness at bilang bahagi din ng investigation ng NBI. To conclude, Your Honor,
Short rejoinder on that, Your Honor.
The lead prosecutor is not yet finished.
To conclude, Your Honor, the prosecution finds it unnecessary.
Objection, Your Honor. Same ground.
Allow the lead prosecutor to finish.
The prosecution finds it unnecessary to conduct redirect examination.
Thank you, counsel. Duly noted.
Just
Do you
a
still
short-
want a rejoinder?
Just a
counsel,
short
for
rejoinder on the Las Cañas
Yes,
issue.
counsel.
Again, Your Honor, according to the rules, an affidavit must be testified to and identified by the person or the author of that affidavit. And in this case, such was not done. So, and an additional manifestation, Your Honor, that considering that it is unsigned and unnotarized, the law considers it as a mere scrap of paper. That's just a manifestation. And
Then let instead of letting this be an ongoing argument between both counsels, let the chair state.
Your
for
Honor,
the-
may I just correct the manifestation
No
of the
need,
defense?
counsel. Let the chair state for the 4th time. The affidavit of Las Cañas was not offered as an authentic document executed by the affiant. Only that it was part of the documents used by Director Matibag in his open source investigation, as also clarified for the 5th time, if I will count it, by Senator Judge Lacson. that it was only part of the investigation of the NBI through what is called an open source investigation. Again, to reiterate, not as proof that of its authenticity and the truth of the contents contained in the affidavit or document purporting to be executed by Las Cañas.
And that it is signed, Your Honor.
Let that be the end of it, counsels, if you may. And we can proceed to the interventions and interjections of senator judges. Forgive my inadvertence earlier. Chair will recognize in this order, in the order that they indicated to the chair, as pointed out by the clerk of court, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, Senator Judge Villanueva, Senator Judge Pangilinan, Senator Judge Aquino, and Senator Judge Padilla as of now. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo is recognized for his interventions. You may proceed, sir, when you are ready. You have 2 minutes.
Mr. Witness, kahapon naitanong ko sa inyo yung kaso ni Ronel Mas. Ngayon, tatanong ko sa inyo, pamilyar ho ba kayo sa kaso ni Ronald Kibuyen, Maria Catherine Seron, and Joe Mark Ebcay?
Narinig ko po sila.
Ano po yung pagkakarinig mo sa kaso?
Sila po ay inaresto ng PNP, CIDG. Yung isa po sa, I think it's an Osamis dahil meron siyang nagsabi na patayin si dating Pangulong Duterte at nag-offer ng 100 million na reward. Yung naman pong ubayan sa Boracay ata, may offer din. I'm not mistaken, 150 million po yata na reward.
So, itong tatlo po, sa pagkakalam niyo, ano mga trabaho nito?
Yung isa po, construction worker, hindi ko po maalala yung isang tao.
Yung isa ay unemployed college graduate.
Ayun.
So, the reason why I asked that, kasi tulad ni Ronel Mas, isang teacher, at itong tatlo, mga ordinary mamayan, i-compare natin dun sa ginawa ni VP Sara at saka ni Mayor Baste sa ating Pangulo, pagbabanta, almost the same yung nangyari. So, kamay na bakal ang pinairal. Kapag mga ordinaryong mahirap na mamayan, ang pinapairal ninyo dyan sa law enforcement. Pero kapag makapangyarihan ang mga tao, you treat them with kids' gloves. Why is that?
Respectfully po, Your Honor, unang-una, I cannot speak to the behavior of the law enforcement at that time. But I agree with you na yung pag-aresto po sa kanila is warrantless arrest. That's the reason why na-dismiss po lahat ng kaso na yon. Yung sa ngayon naman po, yung mga pangyayari na ito, we go to the case build up and file a case katulad po nung nangyari kay Vice Presidente, meron pong nakapending ngayon na kaso. At kung ito po ay may file sa korte, that is the time that the court will issue a warrant of arrest. So meron po tayong prosesong sinusunod po.
Mali nga yung pagka-aresto, actually, warrantless arrest yung nangyari noon. Pero meron bang nag-utos why it was done by the law enforcement people at that time? And what's the difference between the law enforcement back then and the law enforcement people now?
Well, I can only speak po for my bureau na NBI. We are making sure that we are following the process and the law. In any case, wala pong malaki o maliit na kaso. Ang tinitingnan po lagi natin dito ay ang ebidensya, ang batas at ang prosesong dapat pong sundin.
Okay. I'll give you an example. Halimbawa, yung nangyari ngayon na pagbabanta sa ating Pangulo, nangyari noon sa panahon ni Pangulong Duterte at nagbanta si Leni Robredo. Halimbawa lang, of course, Leni Robredo would not do that kasi I know, wala sa karakter niya. Nagbanta si Leni Robredo kay Pangulong Duterte at matindi yung outburst niya at pagbabanta. At ganun din naggawa ng follow-up ang kanyang anak. What would have happened? Sa tingin niyo ba, possible na merong gagawang pag-aaresto si PRD tulad ng ginawang pag-aaresto doon sa mga teachers, sa teacher, construction worker, at unemployed college graduate?
Well, respectfully, it's calling for an opinion but siguro meron po akong pwedeng pagbasihan. Base na rin po sa inyong sinasabi na construction worker, teacher, ay inaresto dahil sa banta. Posible po. May possibility na baka arestuhin po kaagad ang Vice Presidente noon.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Senator Judge Villanueva may proceed with his interjection when he's ready. You have 2 minutes, sir.
Thank you, Presiding Officer, Mr. President. Just two quick questions to our dear witness. Your Honor, malaking bahagi po, Director Matibag, nung sa talakayan dito sa korte at ng buong sambayanan, whether or not natukoy na ba yung sinasabing alleged tinutukoy ng pangalawang Pangulo doon po sa kanyang video. At binanggit niyo po na may inaasahan po kayong development sa loob ng 3 hanggang 6 na buwan. Maaari po ba niyong paliwanag, Director, sa pangkalahatan lamang po kung ano po yung layunin ng mga natitira pang bahagi sa investigasyon po ninyo? Just to clarify lang po, no? Kasi when you testified that the individual's identity will become clearer, does it mean, sir, that the Bureau is now focused on confirming or verifying the identity of a particular individual referred to by the respondent rather than determining whether such person exists in the first place? Kumbaga po, yung tanong lamang po dito, sinasagot po ay sino na yung kinontrata rather than hindi po yung meron nga bang kinontrata.
Your Honor, 2 bagay po para makarating po tayo dun sa kasagutan sa inyo pong katanungan.